So this week, guys, unfortunately is going to be a little bit of a boring one. Normal daily driver cars need some work every now and then as well. It is a bit of a drainer, but you got to do what you got to do. So I have my partner's Golf GTI here, and what I am replacing today is this stupid thing. Now, if you own a Golf, please tell me if you have ever heard of this thing, because before last week, I had never heard of it. So these 2-litre early GTI Mark V engines run a high pressure fuel pump on the side of the engine, or on the front of the engine, that runs off the camshaft. So it's sort of like a lifter. It runs off the lobe of the cam and pumps fuel, obviously. Now the little lifter cup looking thing wears out, and if it wears out and wears through, then obviously it's fuel pump straight onto cam without the cup on it, destroys the cam, sends metal through your engine. Catastrophe. Now when I googled this, it says you should be checking this at least every 20,000. Now I have done, looking at the Ks here, 70,000 Ks in this car since I bought it, and who knows if the person before me did it, but I've never done it because I'd never heard of it. Now usually it throws an engine light, which this hasn't got, and is down on power, which this isn't. So I'm hoping I've caught it, because this is only 50 bucks, so catching it before it happens is a very big thing. It is a bit of a pain to get out from the videos I've watched. There is 2 variants of this pump, and I have the one that's hard, of course. But we'll see how we go, and I am praying that this little cup on the end of the pump has not eaten all the way through, because then I'm pretty screwed. And I've been shitting myself for about 2 weeks, hoping this hasn't gone through. Googling the symptoms, and this car has none of the symptoms, so I'm really hoping. But it's crazy that this part just isn't part of your service schedule, like in the book. Like, you know, it'll say every 20 do an air filter, every 40 do pollen filter. This is nowhere to be seen on service schedule, so I'm assuming it's a thing that happened late. I did find in my Googling that there was a recall on them, so who knows. But if you've got a Golf with the 2-litre engine, 2-litre turbo engine, or any other car that has this engine, I think the EOS's and stuff like that had them. I don't know, some other cars had them as well. Check your cam follower on the high pressure fuel pump. It could save your engine. Alright, slight change of plans. If you're in Melbourne at the moment, on Saturday, just before this video, you will know how absolutely freezing it is today. The dashboard in the car says 9 degrees, but there's no way that is right. So there's no way I was going to be outside working on a car. I could not even feel my hands or my face. But we did get something out of it. That is a base model VZ front bumper, freshly painted in the same color as my Ute. So I'll continue this on why I have this when I get home. Of course, the second I go to do something outside, it starts raining. That's Melbourne for you. But as some of you may know, this is my daily driver. So it's just a base model VZ Ute, 6-cylinder auto, really clean car. But when I got it, I'll put some pictures up, but it had a nudge bar on it, like the little alloy ones that sort of just go like this. So I'll put a picture up here so you can see how stupid it looked. So that was one of the first things that came off. But obviously the bar was cut to fit that. So I've been meaning to do this for a while. I finally got a bar. As usual, Minnie hooked it up, painted it for me. So while I was there yesterday, I grabbed it. And we're ready to go. So exactly the same bar with some fresh paint. This came out really good. There's not a single little dot on this thing. So I'm gonna have to pull the front in a bit so I'm not working in the rain. And we'll get this bumper off and change it over. Now if you're wondering why I'm grinding shit just to get a bumper off, cannot for the life of me get that Phillips head off, so I've just cut it, because I've now stripped it. I've now cut it deeper, the Phillips head slot, as you can see, so hopefully it's easier to get out. There we go. I'll replace that while I'm at it. That's going straight in the bin. Well, I think that should be it. I think. Looking at this with the bumper on, I always had the assumption that it was just some small bracket, but it actually requires the removal of the front Rio, as this is all part of it. This big plate behind, so I'm gonna have to pull this off, I think. Look at this guy. And of course, give all this stuff a clean. Would it really be a video on this channel if it didn't clean everything along the way? So one of these in there to hold the bolts in for the plates. So there were some pretty hefty plates holding on this very flimsy alloy nudge bar. Something weird I just noticed. Now this has a HSVI pack, which was just a option pack you could select when you bought this car, and there was heaps and heaps of them. It's nothing special. So the pack that this car got was just the wheels and a hard lid. So the wheels it still has. So these are a factory option wheel, but it now has a soft tonneau, as a previous owner had motorbikes, so he got rid of the hard lid because it was too annoying putting it on and off. Now these all have a build plate in the engine bay, HSV one. The only weird thing is, VEs came out in 06. Now this is a VZ and it's dated January 07. So the only reason I can think that that would be was this is a very, very last VZ that sat on the lot, and it was sold in 07. And when you bought these HSVI packs, it was optioned at the dealer, so they would send it back out to HSV, or whatever, HSV would send the parts to Holden, they would put them on, and then put the plate on and date it then. So this is like a very, very last into VE production VZ that no one wanted, obviously. And now to transfer everything off this bar onto the new one. Now, being an executive, there's not much going on. There's no chrome trims and all that stuff, so it should be pretty simple. Just the grills on each side, which are like fog light blanks. You take out your wrist with it. The main grill and these two foam things, and that is pretty much it. Alright, we're back from the hospital. It was an actual bloodbath in here, but I am fine, so we can get back into it now. There we go, all together, grill, fog light blanks. Now we can pop this thing back on. Beautiful, and for an aftermarket bar, fits up very, very well. Pretty damn happy with that. Now, another thing I really want to do to this car that I've been putting off for a long time is, when I bought this, it was stock height. I did front springs and shocks. I just bought them used together and winged it, hoping the front shocks are alright. They've been alright, but they're starting to get very bouncy and knocky. I still have these KYBs that were in it when I got the car, so I might have to pull the fronts back out, swap the king springs onto those shocks, so I get my nice riding daily driver back, but that's going to be for another video. Oh, so much better. I'm so happy with that. That has been doing my head in since I got this car. Woo! And I almost forgot, I've got to put all this stuff back together, as this is what the front bumper was paint matched from. Beautiful. So that's probably going to be it for this week's one, guys. Sorry, I do apologize for it being a short video and not very exciting. I'm happy to admit that. I'll be honest, it is getting a bit difficult at the moment to pump out these videos still every Wednesday, as the van's pretty much finished. So it was easy from the start because I was just pumping this car out, building it over the last 2 years, where now it's pretty much finished and it is where I want it to be. It's very hard to figure out what to do videos on, you know, whether it's other people's cars or, you know, stuff like that. So be patient. It might not be every Wednesday for a while. If you've made it to the end of this video, I would like your opinion in the comments, what you would rather. Just trying to pump out videos even if it's about boring stuff and keeping it on Wednesdays, or in the near future moving to just, when I have something interesting, just release a video. So it could be 1, 2, 3 weeks between a video, who knows. But I am trying my hardest. It is very difficult. It does cost a lot of money trying to do these videos every weekend. You got to keep doing stuff to cars, which in turn costs money, of course. But I do value you guys' opinions, so please put it in the comments and let me know what you would like to see. See you guys next week.